good dinner, everyone? Yes? Yeah, those ribs were great. I'm going to tell you a story that I had that happened to me very recently. About 2 weeks ago, my buddy Victor and I decided to go on a motorcycle ride. Now, Victor and I go on a motorcycle ride about once a year where we spend a couple of nights out on the road. This year we hadn't had the opportunity, so we decided to get one in before it got too cold. Our destination was going to be Highway 1 up and down the coast. I hear it's beautiful this time of year. We decided to do it. He lives in Livingston, I live in Sacramento. We decided to meet halfway in Tracy. We met there Sunday morning around noon-ish. So far, so good. He got there about 10 minutes before me, so he's ready to go when I got there. He asks, Andre, would you like to fill up the gas tank? And I said, no, I still have half a tank. Let's go. I'm eager to get on the road. We jump on the freeway. We go through the East Coast, we go over the bridge, we get to the east side of Palo Alto. He's in front of me about 2 cars length. When my bike starts to sputter, I flash the light. He doesn't see me. He's going, no worries. For those of you who may know about motorcycles, this will be a refresher for those of you who don't. You learned something today. Motorcycles have what's called the reserve tank. The way it works, it's one tank with 2 hoses. This hose is closed most of the time. This one is not. Here's the fuel. All the fuel goes out this hose. When the fuel drops to below this point, you reach down, you grab a fuel cock, you flip it over, and now this fuel hose is open, and you still have a good 25 to 45 miles of distance before you really have to fuel up. I've been relying on this method for the last 25 years. I'm on the freeway, my motorcycle starts to sputter, no worries, I reach down. I've only had this motorcycle for 2 weeks. I can't find it, shoot. Okay, pull over. By now my friend Victor's gone. Still can't find it. Okay, kill the engine, walk around the bike, go down, and I still can't find it. Now, the lady that I bought this motorcycle from spent about $3,000 on chrome accessories. It's a beautiful bike, by the way, gorgeous. I'm thinking maybe she hid it behind some of the extra accessories that she placed on there. Right? But I don't have any tools. Like, oh, you know what, I'll figure out where the next gas is. Notice that the bike didn't die, it was just sputtering. Okay? Get back on the bike, start it. And I noticed that if I lean this way, it runs fine. And if I go straight, it sputters. So I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to go on the freeway. I'm going to go on the shoulder. So now here I am doing 35, 40 miles an hour. And every now and then there's like a turn or a bush. And so I had to like get to my exit, go about a quarter mile to the right, and there's my gas station. Gas station is in a small shopping center, and there's an entry with a bunch of cars and people doing shopping. I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. I'm going to go past the gas station and go in. No problem. I can go right, on the left, and there's the gas station, and there's no other on-ramp. And I just got on an expressway in the Bay Area, and I'm running on fumes. Pull over again. Oh my God, what do I do? Do I go forward and hope for another gas station and hope that I make it? Do I honorously back up, or do I break the law and make a U-turn? Expressway, one way. Well, I tried to push it back, couldn't do it. This is a bigger bike than I've had before. I'm like, okay, I'll make a U-turn. Make a U-turn, then I hug the left shoulder. Yet again, I find myself on the shoulder. I get in the gas station, fill up, call my buddy. He's like, hey, I'm at exit XYZ, which is the exit that's going to take us over to the Redwoods to Highway 1. Okay, I'll be there in 5 minutes. Get on the motorcycle, start going, get on the freeway. No. Now I've got a Bluetooth headset. Before I was following my friend Victor, he's got a Harley which is loud, but mine's trying to be a Harley which is louder. My Bluetooth is not loud enough, and I'm driving, and all of a sudden I hear blah, 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 exit. Oh shit. So I exit. I quickly realize this is not my exit. My friend Victor's waiting at the next exit. No worries, I'll make a U-turn at a gas station, ironically. I pull into the driveway, and as I go up, I feel this plump. That's weird. And I look at my tires, fine, and then I go somewhere and I go plump, plump. Oh, I got flat. on a Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. My friend Victor comes back. We spent 2 hours on the phone. We couldn't find a motorcycle shop. We couldn't find a tire shop, anything open. So we're like, you know what, let's make the best of it. Let's go have dinner. By now it's, I don't know, 3:30, we're starving. We go have lunch. Come back and I decide, you know what, let's call the whole weekend off. I'm gonna call my wife, have her hitch up the trailer, come get us. Call her up, explain the situation. She agreed to come pick me up. But I am no dummy. I can tell between the yes, I'll be there in 3 hours, yes, I'll hitch up the trailer, that I was going to pay for this for the next 2-3 weeks. So I said, you know what, honey? Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. So we started looking for accommodations in the Bay Area on a Sunday. Now, if you can imagine two dudes in Harley gear with skull masks, leather everywhere, riding on one motorcycle. Yeah, baby. He would not let me take his bike. He's like, no, you're riding back there. Dang it. Next morning, 9 a.m., we get up and we start making phone calls all over town. I'm looking for a tire. I must have called every motorcycle shop west of Sacramento. Nobody carries my particular tire. It has to be Y-Wall. It has to be. It's now close to 1 p.m. Finally, a guy asks me, why do you need that particular tire? And I said, and why with such urgency? He said, I can get it to you tomorrow. I said, listen, I'm stuck on the side of the road. I really wanted to do this. Like, wait a minute, you're stuck on the side of the road? I'm like, yeah. He's like, what kind of bike do you have? Well, I have a Suzuki Boulevard. He's like, and you need a tire? Yeah. I said, no, you need a tube. Are you kidding? He's like, yeah, you have spokes, right? Well, yeah, I have spokes. Yeah, you don't need a tire, you need a tube. Go, do you have it? Like, yeah, I have it. 2 hours later, I pull into his shop on a tow truck. I finally arranged the tow truck. It takes 2 hours to get towed anywhere. Hour and a half later, he's like, okay, your bike's ready. $150. No worries. At this point, I'm willing to pay whatever. 6 p.m. on a Monday night in the Bay Area. 3 choices. Ride home in traffic, wait for traffic to die down, or spend the night. I was supposed to be home 3 hours earlier to help my wife with the kids. I am not spending the night. And I'm not driving home right now. So Victor and I go, you know what? Let's go ride for a couple hours. Let's go up to the Redwoods, have dinner, and then we'll go home. Okay, have a beer. That was fun, whatever. Oh man, it's 9 o'clock. We better start heading home. Jump on the motorcycle, ride through East Bay, whatever, get to Tracy. We're about to part ways, and he goes, great, man, I'm freezing my butt. What? You didn't bring another jacket? We got leather, but he's freezing, right? And I'm not cold at all. I go, here, you take my fleece jacket. Yeah. Get back on the motorcycle through Tracy, no big deal. As soon as I hit the fields, though, man, the temperature drops a good 10 degrees, and I'm going 75 miles an hour at 11 o'clock at night, coming up Highway 5. Let me tell you, I've had better experiences on my motorcycle. Get home around 12:30, take a hot shower, and try to cozy up to my wife, who's not very happy to feel a cold body next to her at this point. There are lessons to be learned here. I'm sure there are more. I came up with 5. 1, know your motorcycle. Does it have a fuel cock or does it not have a fuel cock? Because if it doesn't, you don't have a reserve. Number 2, know your motorcycle. If the tire has spokes, you don't have a tubeless tire. You have a tube and a need for a tube. Number 3, always be prepared for all kinds of weather when you're on a motorcycle. I was prepared. My buddy Victor wasn't. I paid the price. Number 4, and this is a very important lesson, do not ride your motorcycle on the shoulder twice on a single trip, because that's most likely where I encountered the 3-inch nail. And number 5, no matter what, under any circumstances, do not call your wife to come pick you up 3 hours away when you're on a motorcycle ride with your buddy.